Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Karen D. Kelly. I am with GoldnHome Real Estate, which is a DBA of eXp Realty. And we come to you this afternoon with my friend and peer, Shelley Kinney Stevenson. I first want to thank you, Shelley, for coming on today and taking the time out of your busy day to collaborate with me on this topic. Shelley and I have been
I
working.
really appreciate the, sorry, I really appreciate the invitation, Karen. Thank you.
And this is free form. We make mistakes, y'all. This is live. So Shelley and I have been working together for several years now. We met on LinkedIn when she reached out to me. I responded, and since then, we've been a perfect team. Shelley, before we get started, please tell everyone what your title is and who you work for. And afterwards, I'll post that information below this recording so that they can reach out to you.
Absolutely. I work for New American Funding. My title is loan consultant. Most people might think of that as a loan officer. And we have a great team here, and I'm really excited to be here with you today, Karen.
Thank you. Shelley, I wanted to come to you today to discuss, as it relates to obtaining a mortgage, things that you need to know and do before you attempt to purchase a home. The reason I chose that topic is because as a realtor, I often get clients that come to me that have no clue where to begin or what they should do prior to purchasing a home. And often they'll wait until like their lease is up and then they want to begin the home buying process. And sometimes that is just not enough time. It causes undue stress on them, on me, and on the lender. So I thought that would be a good topic to start with. Things that people need to do and to know before they start attempting to purchase a home. So Shelley, with that being said, I'm going to kick it off to you. Take it away.
Yeah, so there are a couple of that are really first on the list. The first one is your credit. It's important to pull your credit report. Make sure there are no erroneous items on there. No one has stolen your identity and placed a collection, or maybe there's something is on there that you didn't know was on there. You were on someone's authorized user account years ago, and there's on it now, and you'd like to get off of that because the payments are late or very, very high or something of that nature. So the first thing to do is make sure your credit is accurate and reflects your good reputation and your good payment history. The second thing to think about, and a lot of people put this to the very last, is where are you going to get those funds that you need to close on your new home? Lots of times, if you want to move into a nice new apartment, your lease is up, you know you're going to have to come up with first, last, deposit, pet deposit, the money to turn on the electricity, and all of those things. There are costs involved with buying a home too. So you would need to really saving your money up, put it in a separate account, make sure that you're putting a little nest egg together so that whenever you're ready to buy that house, your purchase power won't by your savings pattern. So those are the two things I would say are the most important. The final thing to think about is to make sure that if you are looking to purchase a home, don't also be looking necessarily to change your job at the same time unless you're moving to a new city. So if you are thinking now is a good time in the job market, I'm going to start looking for a new job that pays better, more, is flexible hours, or whatever the case may be, get that done and get yourself settled there first so that one, you know that you've got the job, we can count that better, greater increase, and also you know what your commute is going to be and so forth. Many people get into the process, they're out looking for a home, maybe they find one they really want, and they're also right in the middle of quitting one job and starting the next, which can throw a wrench into your purchasing process.
That's very good information, Shelley. Since we're on it, let's talk about desires versus what they actually qualify for. And just put that into scope for people. So a lot of times they want way more than they can afford, and what that entails.
Absolutely. So that people usually do whenever they start thinking about buying a house is they get onto one of the web. I'll know their names. I won't say them here, but they're very famous websites that show whole bunches of homes that are for sale and lots of pretty pictures. And as you click on one pretty picture, it'll take you to another home that's twice as expensive and has even prettier pictures and so forth. And so we get really excited, and excited is good. It's good to be excited about purchasing your home. But once you talk to a lender like me and you find out how much you can qualify for, that sometimes makes people feel disappointed because they wanted the one that was the prettiest in the picture, but they qualify for something a little bit more modest now. And that's okay, because real estate is an investment. It's an investment in the actual land, the actual house, and it's also an investment in you and your lifetime and generational wealth. So it's just like buying your first car or even your second car. Generally, people don't go out and the very first car they buy is a Mercedes or a Jag fresh off the factory line. You usually get something a little bit more modest, hold that one for a while, and then trade it in and trade it up until you get that car that you've really always wanted. Houses are the same thing. So whenever you start looking for a home, you may not find a brand new factory, first built home,
Exactly.
fresh, that's in your price range. You may not find one in that neighborhood your boss lives in that you went to and it's beautiful and they've torn down all the old houses and built McMansions. They're wonderful neighborhoods, they're wonderful homes, but you may have to start a little bit more modestly. And that's okay, because it's going to be your home. You're going to paint the walls the way you want to and change out the bathroom faucet if you want and make it your personal space until you're ready to upgrade.
Okay, so Shelley, what I think I understand you're saying is, first of all, make sure you're stable on your job,
Mhm,
that you don't look to switch jobs until after you purchase your home,
mhm.
that you make sure that you get pre-qualified first so that you'll know if your credit to debt to income all align,
Yes, ma'am.
that you don't go out searching for more than you realistically can afford, and to keep in mind that it may be your first home, so you can always improve it in time. And then when you
Absolutely.
get ready to sell that home for your next home, you'll have more equity and value into it because you have upgraded it. So to be realistic in your thinking when you purchase your home for the first time.
Yes, ma'am. Spot on.
Okay, good. So Shelley, what if it's the second home and someone is looking just briefly on the mortgage side to sell their home to purchase another one? How does that work as far as getting a loan?
Absolutely. So that is one of the questions that I always ask if I'm talking to someone who already owns a home and they're looking to purchase another one. Are you selling the home that you're in? And if not, what are you going to do with it? Right? Most people, generally speaking, will sell the home they're in and use that equity, those proceeds from that sale, for their down payment and closing costs. Remember, I was talking about saving up that money for that first house. Well, now you've got the house, you've got that equity. It has grown in equity because you've taken good care of it, and because over time real estate just does grow in equity. Prices go up, not down, generally speaking. So now you've got all that equity. Whenever you start talking to your realtor, you've talked to me, we've kind of gotten a super rough estimate of how much equity you might have. You're going to talk to your realtor. And when you talk to Karen, she's going to talk to you about realistically what you can sell that home for and how long it's going to take. And she could even help you figure out what those proceeds are going to look like after your closing cost and paying off any mortgages or taxes that may be due on it. And she's going to say, okay, here's what we can realistically expect for you to get from this home. And then we can work those numbers into the purchase of your new home. That helps us figure out how much your down payment's going to be, what your payment is going to look like, and so forth, so that you have a full picture even before you list your home as to what your new house might look like, what your new payment might look like, and how long that process is going to take. I think, Karen, we've seen the market where they might be able to sell their house in 36 hours and there's not another one to purchase on the market that they
Exactly.
want for 3 months. And we can work through those issues as well. There are tools that we have, there are tools that I have where we can do a buy now, sell later. Karen has lots of tools in her toolbox make sure that everything comes together, because I know a lot of people don't want to do a double move where you move into temporary housing and then final housing. But that's just something to talk about up front and make sure that you've been all your questions have been answered and you're very clear on what the timeline is going to look like for those transactions. Many times we can close on the sale of your property and the purchase of your new property on the same day. And then everybody gets in the truck and everybody switches houses. So sometimes it works out just lovely.
That's right. So Shelley, you know what? I am so happy that you joined me today for this short video. It's going to be a YouTube short. And I do want to invite you back to talk about another topic, which is the next step after getting the mortgage loan. Everybody, I am going to put Shelley's information below this video so that you can reach out to her. She is my mortgage lender of choice, and I am striving to be your realtor of choice. And together we make a great team. So Shelley, I want to thank you for that wealth of information. I know this is going to be helpful to a whole lot of people, right? It refreshes my memory even. And many times our clients, they don't have all the pieces, or they listen to people that are not mortgage lenders. They listen to the wrong information, or they get the wrong information that they believe is the right information. So I thought you would be the perfect person to come on my platform for my potential buyers to explain the beginning of the process. Because a lot of times, like I said, they listen to people that don't sell real estate, they don't do mortgage loans, and those people kind of lead them down a different
The
path.
primrose path.
Thank you. And then we have to reel them back in. So I thought, you'd be the perfect person to help me explain to my potential clients what they need to do before they even get to me. And a lot of times I refer them to you before I ever do anything. I send them to you to see even if they can afford to buy, how much they can afford to buy after you do your work. And so I appreciate you taking the time out of your busy day to come on here and do this for me and my clients.
Well, Karen, I couldn't appreciate the invitation. Thank you so much. It's always a pleasure working with you.
Appreciate you, and the same. So I'm going to close it out with, again, my name is Karen D. Kelly of GoldnHome Real Estate, LLC, which is a DBA of eXp Realty, LLC. My information will be below. Shelley, tell them again who you work for and how to reach you, and I'll tag it up below.
Yes, ma'am. Shelley Kinney with New American Funding. My phone number is 469-438-7235. And I am always happy to take your phone call.
Thank you, everybody, and come back to GoldnHome Real Estate YouTube channel. Weekly, we have new information. Thank you.